A couple of times in my life I have been lying in bed and staring at the ceiling and thinking to myself that, man, I have no clue what I want to do in life. Like, I don't know what I want to study, I don't know what I want to work with, and I have looked at all these educations at different universities and talked to a couple of experts at different universities to give me some guidance, and I don't feel like any of these educations feels like it's the right thing to study, and I don't want to study something that doesn't feel right. And I also thought that I don't know even what I want to work with, and I didn't know like where to find the answers anymore, because I have looked at all these educations and I didn't know the next step to take. So I felt almost a little helpless, not hopeless, because I always hoped that someday I will find the answers, but I didn't know when. Like, how long will it take? Like, I was just lying there and thinking, man, I don't know what to do. So it's a little bit overwhelming, and it's hard to feel inspired and motivated when you don't know which action to take anymore. So that was a little difficult place to be in. But then I found this book, this amazing book, which is called A New Earth, and it's written by one of my favorite authors and spiritual teachers, Eckhart Tolle. And in this book, in chapter 9, Eckhart writes about that we all have two purposes in life, one inner purpose and one outer purpose, and that our primary purpose is our inner purpose, and that our inner purpose is to awaken. It is as simple as that, says Eckhart. And what does it mean to awaken? To awaken means that we realize that we are not our mind, but we are the awareness that is aware we have a mind and we have thoughts, but we are not it. So we have like separated ourselves from our mind. That is what awakening is about. And that is a very powerful realization. Just like I mentioned in the last video where I showed you the interview that Oprah did with Michael Singer. That is also, they were talking about this is the most important thing in life, to realize that we are spiritual beings having a human experience and that we are not our mind. So that is our primary purpose, and that is the same for everybody. Every human being has this as their primary purpose. So that's why it is so important to realize this, because it is our primary purpose. This is our true purpose. And then our outer purpose, that is our secondary purpose. But in today's society we don't talk about that. So we think our secondary purpose, what to study, what to work with, to be successful or not, to have a family or not, where to live, and all these that can seem like big decisions are like the most important decisions we have to make, but it's not. It's only secondary, it's only relatively important. What is primary is to realize who we are, and that we are not our mind, but we are the awareness that is aware we have a mind. And that is the spiritual part of us, and that part is connected to God. That's why Jesus said, my Father and I are one. And that's the same for everybody. We're all one. We're all coming from the same source, and we have to realize that we are part of this source. So when I read that, I became so calm. I was so stressed and worried about the future. But when I read that chapter, I felt so calm, and I felt a sense of inner peace coming to me, because now I realize that everybody can achieve the primary purpose. It's nothing also we have to achieve, it's just something we have to realize. So everybody can do this. Doesn't matter if you're homeless or richest man on earth, everybody have the same possibility to realize their primary purpose. And every time I feel stressed and worry about the future, I think about my secondary purpose. I make my secondary purpose my primary one. Like, what should I study? What should I work with? Where am I in 10 years? Will I be successful or not? And all these things. But that is just secondary, and it never goes wrong. Every time I feel stressed and worried, I always thinking about my secondary purpose. Totally forgotten about my primary purpose. But when I realized my primary purpose is to awaken, is to not identify with our mind and my thoughts about the future, I become calm and present to the moment again. That's why in this video I want to share the importance again, like Oprah and Michael Singer was talking about in the last video, that this is the most important thing we can realize in our life. And I can also recommend a 10-part video series that Oprah did together with Eckhart, where they go through each chapter. This book has 10 chapters, and in every video they go through each chapter. And it's really amazing. It's so entertaining and so interesting and so thoughtful, and I really love the interaction between Eckhart and Oprah and all the people who asked the questions. And it's a really amazing thing they did when they made a class out of every chapter. And yeah, so I can really recommend it. It's on YouTube. Just search for Eckhart Tolle and Oprah, A New Earth, and you will find it there. And I want to end this video by reading a couple of sentences from this book, from chapter 9, under the headline Awakening. Because again, that is our primary purpose. So here it goes. Awakening is a shift in consciousness in which thinking and awareness separate. Instead of being lost in your thinking, when you are awake, you recognize yourself as the awareness behind it. Thinking then ceases to be a self-serving, autonomous activity that takes possession of you and runs your life. Awareness takes over from thinking. Instead of being in charge of your life, thinking becomes the servant of awareness. So instead of our mind being in charge of us, we become in charge of our mind, which is a very powerful capability to have and a very powerful place to be in. Not like the place I was when I was lying in bed and staring at the ceiling and didn't have a clue what to do in life. But now we know it's to find our primary purpose. And that's everything I had to share for today. I thank you very much for watching. Please click the like button if you like this video, because that will also help this video to reach more people that maybe also needs to hear this message. And also subscribe to the channel if you want, and I see you in the next video.